Hey YouTube, this is Kevin Bowen of Bowen Small Engine, and today guys I just wanted to show you a few more additions to my EDC that I've recently acquired. I'm really happy with the canteen that I'm going to show you that I purchased from David Canterbury's website, or Self-Reliance Outfitters if you will. Obviously there's going to be a few things that you guys have seen in the past along in this video. The reason that I'm showing everything as a collaboration more or less is because I utilize all of these items quite regularly actually since I've basically acquired them, if you will. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and sit down guys, and I'm going to show you some of the newer additions that you haven't seen before, as well as some that you may have. Alright YouTube, I'm going to start off by telling you guys, first and foremost, I love this canteen set. My wife and mother basically purchased this for me over my birthday more or less, which has came and gone since then, but I really like this canteen set. And obviously you can see that it's Dave Canterbury's canteen set. I love the wide mouth design. I really do. Very nice canteen set. Can't say enough good things about it. Obviously you're going to see that I've purchased a small bowl as well. Or I should say kettle. And of course there's just some jute twine and a lighter. I believe in redundancies guys, what can I say? Guys, I want to mention that I actually purchased two of these lids for the little canteen kettle, if you will. And of course it came with the hanger. And obviously some accessories. This of course is a bay light that I purchased around about the same time. I really like these fire starters guys. I should say ferro rods. There are a lot of misconceptions about a fire steel and a ferro rod. A fire steel guys is basically what I'm going to show you after a while in this Patriot pouch. This of course is an actual ferro rod. And obviously guys, a ferro rod is far superior than that of a fire steel. This of course is just the Patriot pouch, which you guys have seen in prior videos, and the companion knife that I forged and made. The companion knife guys basically is a means for flint and steel as well. Basically I can throw sparks off the back of the spine of this. But this is a true fire steel, okay, or a flint striker, not to be confused with a ferro rod, okay. And basically you get sparks from it by simply striking against a piece of chert. And of course you can use charred materials such as char cloth to get the spark. I'll demonstrate that. Hopefully you guys will be able to see this in camera. It's actually that simple. I hope you guys can see that. Try to blow on it. So, as you can see, that's actually a fire steel, or flint striker, if you will. And of course, this is another ferro rod. Now guys, I've had many people ask me, Kevin, why do you have barren blocks with bearings in them? That's not primitive. You would be correct, guys. Okay, I'm not going to argue that. You're absolutely right. It is not primitive by any means. But I actually do this because it helps aid me, okay? Because I have a lot of issues with my knees when I'm down on the ground like this. It's very difficult for me to get up and down, okay? So anything that I can do to give myself an edge, I do it, okay? I mean, that's just a simple, justifiable truth of it, okay? I do have natural barren blocks, all right? I've got them in the building. I would be more than happy to go and grab them if there's anyone that thinks that I'm full of crap or, you know, just pulling your guys' leg, okay? I do actually have natural barren blocks. I just prefer the ones with bearings because it's so much easier when you're making a bow drill set. And that's the reason why that they're readily made, okay? And I carry them in my Haversack as well as the Canteen pouch that I've recently purchased. I keep saying I purchased, guys. Technically, my wife and my mom purchased it. I did let them know what I wanted. This, of course, you guys have seen in other videos. This is just my Leatherman Blast. I love this tool. I basically use the knife and the saw and pliers. The other items rarely ever get used. Obviously, this is my Gransfer Brooks axe. I love this axe. I did not purchase this axe. To be honest with you, once again, my mom and my wife actually purchased this for me, and I really love this axe. It's pretty obvious I'm a pretty sentimental type person. When someone gives me something, it means something to me, so I keep it. And I gotta admit though, this is one of the better gifts that I've gotten over the years. I really, really like this Gransfer Brooks axe. And I have to admit that I really am fond of the Canteen. So, just to let you guys know, you know, these are not going to be going anywhere anytime soon. Now guys, with that being said, obviously I want you to understand that I carry a lot of knives and I carry a lot of lighters, a lot of means to make fire, shall we say. I truly believe that a kit should have redundancies. Truly, okay? This knife you guys haven't seen before. This is one of my recent forgings, if you will. The sheath you have. I made this knife as a bushcraft knife personally for myself. You can even see how I've even made it basically custom fit my hand. It works perfectly. I really, really like this knife. It's razor sharp. I can't say enough good things about this knife. I like it even better than my Jeff White that I actually ordered, okay? And truthfully guys, it's really a good knife. So I can assure you, you're going to be seeing a lot of this knife in the future in my videos. Now obviously guys, you're going to see that I have this Haversack. And once again, there's a knife on it as well. This knife you guys have seen in the past. So you're not really missing out on anything here, okay? Obviously, I don't pull this knife out all the time. So that's the reason why that it's so tight on the Haversack strap, if you will. This knife is a lot more robust than the knife that I showed you before. To be honest, this is what I like to call my beater knife. I do not believe in batoning, guys, because honestly I don't have a reason for it, okay? Just want to note that. But in the event that I would ever have to, which I can't imagine why I would really need to, but in the event that I have to, I do have a backup knife to do so. As I say, I'm just not a big fan of beating the hell out of a knife, okay? That's the truth. There's some people that do, and I'm not poking at them, okay? I'm just saying, from my perspective, I don't believe in beating the hell out of my knife for any given reason. This, of course, is just a bellow to help aid in a bow drill fire, and a flashlight. Just a real cheap, simple flashlight. I think you can get them at Walmart or even the dollar store, actually. This you guys may or may not have seen in the other video. It's just a real old lighter. I saw Dave Canterbury have one and felt that I had to get one too. And I have to admit, it's very effective. If you got punk wood, or I'm sorry, actually charred punk wood, very, very handy to get it lit. Now that being said, the Ferro rod will work just as well, actually better. But needless to say, it's a redundancy, another means to make fire. As I say, guys, in all my kits, there's one thing you're going to see: jute twine, a lighter, and even a magnifying glass. Now obviously I could take this out, guys, and you'll see that there's a lens in here, if you will, a magnifying glass lens. I purchased this from Dave Canterbury's. I'll tell you what, I'll just go ahead and take it out for convenience, guys. I wasn't originally going to, but I have to admit, it's a really nice magnifying glass lens. You can see I've used it a couple of times. I try to keep it in really great shape. There's no scratches, so that's the reason that I rarely ever get it out, to be honest. But in the event that I need it, it's there. So that's basically what you're going to find in this little haversack, with the exception of tinder. And I know there'll be a few of you guys say, well, Kevin, why would you purposely carry tinder knowing that you're going into the wilderness, you know, and it's ready and available? And the truth of the matter is, guys, I kind of have a possum mentality, okay? I really do. In truth, anytime I can take advantage of getting dry tinder and processing it on my way, I do. It's just the type of person I am. I'm sorry. I mean, that's the honesty, okay? In truth, generally speaking, you know, if the weather's permitting, it isn't necessary. But let's be honest, you really never know what the weather can do. It can change in a minute. So it's one of those things. It's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. So that's the purpose for hoarding the tulip poplar. I do keep a Pathfinder Cup with me in the haversack. It's a way to basically boil water if I need to, in desperation. And I do keep seasoning. This, of course, you guys have seen in other videos as well. This is basically a little kettle that my brother had bought for me. It's by Ozark Trail, and 2 bowls. As you can see, actually 4 bowls. I've used it a couple of times, guys. It's very handy. It also comes with sporks. I should note that inside the haversack I always make it a point to carry fat wood shavings. Cannot stress it enough, guys. If you're going to be out there, make sure you have some kind of fat wood shavings, something that's going to make that fire easy to get, okay? And I'll be honest, I've been in some pretty miserable conditions. Fat wood is my go-to every single time. Tulip poplar and fat wood with a little birch bark. Can't be beat, guys, truthfully. Or at least not locally, let's just put it that way. Obviously you're going to see that I keep punk wood. Charred punk wood to be exact. This is a blessing if you're going to use flint and steel. Really even a ferro rod, to be honest, because if you get a spark on this, it's a very simple matter of just getting a bird's nest collected, putting it right in the center and blowing on it. One single piece of this, just a single piece, actually smaller than this, can have a fire in no time if the materials are dry. So that's why I'm a firm believer in charred punk wood. I really prefer it, actually even over char cloth, and I've even mentioned that in other videos. Now obviously guys, you're going to see there is a lot of fat wood shavings. Some is processed more so than others. This is actual dust, and as you can see, I've picked through it even in the past. This is probably my go-to container, okay? A couple of pinches of this over a tinder bundle that's being stubborn works miracles, truthfully. I always keep a few fish hooks and sinkers on me. In honesty, because you never know what type of situation you're really going to encounter. And obviously you can see I've got one big fish hook. And I can even use it in traps. Can't exactly show those traps on YouTube because some of them are a little illegal, but in truth, I can use it. And obviously, I was hoping to find the right canister. I've got two of the charred punk woods in here. One of which I've managed to lose, but the basically the fat wood is in little small strips. Guys, I want to note this to you, if you don't already know. You have basically two types of tarred bank line that you can purchase. You can get the cheap stuff from Walmart, which will suffice, okay, it will work, but is it as good as the actual tarred bank line that Dave Canterbury sells? No, it is not. I've actually proven it a couple of times. I've made bow drill strings out of this cheap stuff from Walmart, and it very quickly will come unraveled. It will work, but this beats it every single time. Honestly, I've made bow drill strings out of this tarred number 6 or number 36 bank line, and seriously, it's never broke on me. I mean, that is the honest truth. At this point, guys, I think I've pretty well covered everything I wanted to in this video, and basically showing you what I carry with me typically. This bow drill, or bow shall we say, for the bow drill set, I recently made. Obviously you can see it's got a very unique design. It's basically because a vine was growing and twisting itself around a young maple, and I basically chose to cut the maple down, and as hard as it is to believe, guys, I actually got all the bark off of this maple limb with a piece of chert. So that's why you see, if you look closely, there's lines that's in this, unlike that of basically a knife, if you actually shave the bark off with a knife. This was completely done by hand with a piece of chert, even to the hole in the back that the string has gone through. I did that with a piece of chert. Took a very long time too, mind you, but I did. So this is just basically a bow that I wanted to show off to you guys. Pretty well covered everything that I wanted to in this video at this point, guys. So until the next video, YouTubers.